Hello, everyone. John Donnelly from Your Holistic Academy, and my guest today is Mia Hines. How you doing, Mia? How are you today?
Very good. Thank you, John. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Mia. I wanted to chat to you today about a little bit about your meditations with Mia. Is the name for your business, yeah?
Yes, that's correct.
So, how did you come up? How did you get involved in the meditation world, Mia?
I suppose as a teenager, I started when I was 17, and that was due to I had a little bit of anxiety, and my friend suggested me try meditation. Now, then, meditation was a little bit for, I suppose, airy fairy, as people would have called it, and I know it for the hippies. So I kept it in secret that I was doing it. So I started to practice maybe about 10 minutes a day, every day, but just in the back of my mind, it wasn't a career focused thing I was looking at. I always loved science. So I decided to go down the science route and do a degree in pharmaceutical biotechnology. But throughout my degree, I was still something felt missing on the inside. And I was doing meditation throughout this whole process. And I suppose after college, I went traveling for a year, still doing meditations, but starting to read more books. I purchased The Secret and The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah.
And where he talks about pure consciousness and comes away from kind of the Western side of meditation. So I came back, still had meditation, but was at the back of my mind, the back of my list. And I got a job as an engineer. So I worked as an engineer for 4 years. Again, getting more and more into my practice of meditation, talking about it a bit more, but there was still something missing. I had the job, I had the money, I had, anything from the outside, people were looking like, oh my God, this girl has a lot,
Yeah.
But inside, I suppose I felt like there was something missing.
Yeah.
So I really started to kind of perform higher self meditations and connecting with me.
Yeah.
And I got really honest with myself, of course, in the middle of a pandemic, and decided that the corporate life, the engineer life, really wasn't for me, and that this was my true passion.
Yeah.
And I suppose throughout that meditation, I had built a really strong foundation in myself, and that was able to lead me to my decision to quit my job and start my own online meditation business, and just, I suppose, share my knowledge with people.
Yeah.
And also share what I learned and how it made me be a stronger person.
Yeah.
Um,
Brilliant. Yeah, that's a very courageous thing to do in the middle of a pandemic, to
yeah,
quit your job and start a new business. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Tell us, you mentioned Eckhart Tolle there, The Power of Now, and I'm a big fan of Eckhart, and I've read a couple of his books. I think Freedom from the World is another one, and Touching the Eternal are brilliant, brilliant books. But so it's about the present moment, Mia, yeah?
Yeah, it's about being in the present moment. And it's really about just being. All we have is the present moment. And like I said before, the stillness is in us, but we just need the tools to find it.
Yeah.
Our body is always in the present moment. It's our minds that isn't.
Yeah.
So really, like, that presence is there for everyone. You just need to tune into it. And obviously there's plenty of tips that I can give that helps people in their everyday life. Not just, you don't have to sit for 10 minutes every day, but you can incorporate it as you're doing your daily tasks, as you're going about your daily life.
Yeah. Yeah. So meditation is almost becoming more a way of life for you, Mia, rather than just a tool.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there's obviously there's multiple forms of meditation. I mean, you can do walking meditation, you can do sitting meditation, you can do lying down meditation, you can do meditation while you're having your breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah. You can do driving meditation while you're on your way to work.
Yeah. Yeah. So what sort of tips and tools would you generally give to people? Because especially, well, you work with beginners and you work with advanced meditators as well, both, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. I suppose for beginners, I would tell people to start practicing breathing techniques for just 10 minutes a day. But you have to, a lot of people I find, you try for a week and you don't see the results. I would say at least try 10 minutes a day, breathing techniques, for 2 weeks. Then increase it to 15 minutes for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And be patient with yourself. You have to remember your mind has been in this pattern of overthinking for like the past 18 years, you know, so or whatever, you know, so it's really not going to change overnight.
Yeah.
And I do find that people see results maybe after 6 weeks.
Yeah.
They start to see the changes.
Yeah.
So my tips there would be start out very easy with yourself.
Yeah.
Doing 10 minutes a day, wherever you can do it, you know, and if you miss a day, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. It's a tool, yeah, and it's a skill set, and anybody can learn the skill set. It's like any other skill, isn't it? You can learn it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the main thing is think that you actually already have it. You just haven't had the ability to access it yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And is it a case that people are too busy, or their lives are too hectic, or they're not giving themselves time, they're not slowing down and giving themselves time? Is that what your experience? That
yeah, I think we all get caught in this thing that if we stop, it's bad. If we stop and sit still, it's bad, you know. If we have to have the look that we're always going, you know, that busyness is good. And it's this mindset that a lot of people get caught up in. You know, if you're not doing anything, oh God, there's something wrong, you know.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's to train people out of that mindset that it's okay to be still.
Yeah.
Because when you're still, you allow your body to recuperate, and you allow yourself to make maybe better decisions, you know. Better decisions will always come in a calmer mind than making decisions when life is hectic.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. And like your engineering background, Mia, that would have been a very sort of logical mindset. So you find now that your creative mind is probably switched on much more, is it?
Yeah, definitely much more. You know, I find with engineering, my mind would have been, you know, black and white. It's this way, it's this way.
Yeah.
Where now, from doing the meditation for so many years, you know, I kind of have, my mind is a little bit more gray.
Yeah.
You know, and open and understanding to new ideas, not just rigid, you know, black and white thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
So you can embrace, you can embrace new ideas, new opportunities, and you can sort of venture into unknown territory and feel safe in there, because you've sort of allowed yourself to feel that safety, feel that comfort because of your meditation practice, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it's all about building a really strong foundation first, you know, especially within yourself. And then it gives you the chance to venture into territory that you would have never thought of, because I suppose you stop letting external things outside affect you as much.
Yeah.
You know, what people say, or the fear of something doesn't work out.
Yeah. Sure.
So again, in many forms, it helps you develop as a person.
Yeah. So the meditation, you combine that with sort of personal development, Mia, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose my kind of goal is to help people who are thinking about getting into meditation, but really provide online guidance and coaching for them.
Right.
You know, to be there for them when they have questions, rather than, you know, sometimes, you know, people read a book and they're kind of left with the book, but any questions they have, you can't get them answered.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just to be a guide for people, really, Mia, yeah? To be a guide.
Yeah, exactly. And to teach them the tools that I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's the same for advanced meditators. You know, I found in my meditation, I was doing it for so many years, I hit a roadblock.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, you know, when people are meditating for a long time, sometimes they hit a roadblock. So it's kind of good to have someone to help you overcome that roadblock and continue on your path.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, I mean, your life is completely different now, Mia, to what it was as an engineer, is it?
Yeah, definitely way different. You know, the high pressure is not there anymore. You know, the deadlines. Yeah. And obviously there's certain other deadlines, but it's not the same, you know. And I find a lot of time in the corporate world, the corporate politics are different. You know, they're not something that sits right with me. So yeah, I definitely have a much calmer life. Yeah. And even though it gets busy, it's completely different. It's a completely different kind of busyness.
Yeah, sure. And you mentioned tapping into your inner self there, Mia. Yeah, so that's just what does that mean for you, tapping into your inner self?
I suppose tapping into my inner self is really, rather than getting advice off people all the time. You know, I used to be a person that, and I think advice off other people is great. I mean, you need it sometimes, but I used to be a person that used to, you know, if someone told me to do something, I'd do it straight away without thinking, oh, is that good for me? Is that what I really want?
Yeah.
And I suppose tapping into myself, I'd ask myself, what do I want?
Yeah.
You know, do I feel like this is good for me? And I suppose that comes as part of building a stronger foundation in yourself too, because you trust yourself more.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, really tuning into your gut feeling rather than ignoring it, which I know, listen, I'm guilty of it in the past, you know, when you have a bad feeling about something, but you just do it anyway.
Yeah.
So it's really tuning into yourself and trusting your own, I suppose, insight.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. Sounds amazing. And yeah, so the different levels, if you like, I guess it's people talk about the higher self and the you know, different levels of self, if you like, or different
Mhm.
levels of I don't know, what would you call it? What would you call that? Tapping into your soul, or
Yeah, I suppose there's different levels of consciousness,
yeah,
for a better word that you could say, you know. But I do feel like you really have to have a good meditation foundation and really be able to still your mind, you know, to be able to connect with your higher self in the best way you can.
yeah, yeah. So that's the real technique of meditation is the ability to calm the mind. Yeah, the ability
Yeah,
to still it and just to listen to your instinct, listen to your intuition.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it can help in many other things as well. I mean, like stilling your mind, you know, you can all of a sudden, an idea that a problem you've been trying to solve for ages, I find that when I still my mind and then I come out of my meditation, a couple of minutes later, oh, the solution might pop into my head.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. So tell us, what sort of clients do you normally work with, or what type of people do you like to work with? Or?
So for, I suppose, lots of beginners, you know, anyone thinking about getting into meditation but is a little bit afraid, or someone who has started meditation but has decided to give up.
Yeah.
Those were kind of people that I would definitely be able to help the most.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what age you are, you know, you can start meditation at any age. I started at a young age. I know people who started it really when they were older.
Yeah. Yeah.
So kind of towards those kind of individuals. And then again, advanced individuals who have come to a roadblock and are looking for, I suppose, to get over that roadblock and continue on their path to pure consciousness.
Yeah.
You know, and I know there's lots of groups out there, like the Centre of Mindfulness for Ireland. There's mindfulnessireland.org. You know, there's lots of groups out there.
Yeah.
That would be great to be part of or be able to help.
Sure.
Also.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you follow a particular meditation teacher yourself, or how do you do that?
I suppose I would look at Dr. Joe Dispenza and Dr. Deepak Chopra.
Deepak Chopra,
yeah. And it's because I also like the whole science side of stuff. So it's really tying the meditation and the science together, you know, and see how the health benefits of it.
Sure. Yeah. I love Joe Dispenza. I mean, you are the placebo. I love that. I mean, and becoming supernatural, and he's just a phenomenal guy doing phenomenal work in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And I'd recommend people, actually, there's a great book if you're thinking about meditation, but just changing your lifestyle in general. It's called Super Genes.
Yeah.
It's by Dr. Deepak Chopra again. And it's all about epigenetics and how we can change, by changing our lifestyle, we can change maybe that we're predisposed to a certain disease.
Yeah.
But meditation is one chapter in that, but then there's also how to change your diet, you know, how to change your relationships. It's a really good book, and it's very easy and simple reading.
Yeah. And then Bruce Lipton as well. He's big into epigenetics as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's extremely interesting.
Yeah, fascinating. So you're on a great journey there, Mia, with all of that type of. So the holistic lifestyle, if you like, is. So is there other areas of holistic health and wellness that you're interested in outside of meditation?
Yeah, I actually trained as holistic masseuse as well when I was younger.
Yeah.
So again, I dabbled in it before I completely went away from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do feel like you know, holistic massage is definitely something I can incorporate in with the meditation. You know, they kind of come hand in hand a little bit.
Yeah.
It's all about obviously relaxing the mind, relaxing the body, you know, and I feel like touch is a great thing to do that too.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. So your website is called Meditations with Mia.
Yeah, meditation, www.meditationswithmia.com.
Yeah, brilliant. I will put that into the chat, Mia. And is there other places people can get a hold of you, or is that the best place to get you?
You can also get to me on my email, heinzmalia@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And I also have a YouTube channel that I can share with you.
All right. So you can put all those details. We can put all the details up in the comments with this video.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, we're delighted to have you as a member of Your Holistic Academy as well. And,
yes.
You were introduced to me by Jada Lebrec, and Jada is one of our core members, and we're delighted to have you on board. How are you finding that experience so far, Mia?
Really, really good. I have to say, it's really nice, you know, to meet like-minded people who we all have the same goal. Yeah. You know, we all believe in holistic health. And it's, you know, there's great people in there that we help each other, you know, and it's nice to have, like, we have our weekly meetings, you know, and it's really good I feel like I'm part of a team.
Yeah.
And especially in this time, you know, where you're quite isolated, you can't actually meet someone.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really good, and all the networking that happens, and just even have a chat with people, you know, like-minded people, and find out. I mean, there's so many interesting things, as you seen with Hans last night. You know, people are just doing many different things.
Amazing, yeah. So you're going to come and do some meditation classes for us, Mia, on the platform, yeah?
Yes, I am indeed.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that's going to be great. Yeah. So listen, Mia, it's been great. I'm delighted to get the opportunity to work with you and see how we can support you. And guys, anybody who's having a look at this, Meditations with Mia, check it out and connect with Mia, and connect with Mia also on Your Holistic Academy as well, and on your email address. Mia, thank you so much, and we'll chat soon, yeah?
Yeah, thanks for having me, John. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.